Once you hear the mesmerizing calls of the rarest of exotic birds, you become totally consumed by passion. Totally consumed by passion. Put on a strategically placed shell, raise a little hell. Frolic in the surf, sand and turf, on totally new island.
Darling, show me love, tell me lies, you do something to me, make it all through the night. Touch me once, kiss me twice, you do something to me on this isle of desire.
Kissed by eternal sun, kissed by eternal sun. A few miles north of the Tropic of Desire. Totally new island. Totally new island. Totally new island. Totally new island.
Let me along to your totally new island. Let me straight to your totally new island. Let me along to your totally
Oh, wait. I'll send it to you here. Because it's going to send some hyperlink with Facebook shit. Every time it goes to Facebook. Oh, wait. All right, gentlemen, we are live. How is it going, everybody? Welcome to
It's gonna send some
the
hyperlink with
Tokyo
Facebook shit.
Crypto
Every time
Show
it goes to
featuring
Facebook.
myself and the man, the myth, the legend himself, Charlie from Cultivate Crypto. How's it going, Charlie?
Going good.
Going good? You gonna leave me hanging here? Oh, well, that's fucking you alpha mailed my hand there. All right, guys, who's been paying attention to cryptocurrency, guys? Full transparency. All right, gentlemen, we are live. How is it going, everybody? Welcome
I had no
to
idea.
the
Send some hyperlink with
Tokyo
Facebook shit.
Crypto
What the
Show
fuck goes on
featuring
on
myself.
Facebook?
I went out drinking. Right, went out drinking this weekend.
himself, Charlie.
It's Halloween weekend in Tokyo.
How's it going, Charlie?
Going good.
And
Good. You gonna leave me hanging here?
when I went out drinking, the price
mailed
was
my
hand there. All right.
$7,400.
Guys, when it came back, who's been paying attention?
It was
to
over
cryptocurrency,
9,000.
guys?
That was by the time you
Full
got sobered up.
transparency. I was kind of hungover in the morning.
All right,
You know,
gentlemen,
when
we
you
are
kinda have
live.
that
How is it
hangover
going,
buzz
everybody?
going. Welcome
I had
to
no
the
idea. Send some hyperlink with
Tokyo
Facebook shit.
Crypto
What the
Show
fuck goes on
featuring
on
myself.
Facebook?
I went out drinking. Right, went out drinking this weekend.
Still drunk? I was like,
Halloween
what the hell is
weekend in
going on?
Tokyo.
And then
Going good.
I immediately,
Good.
when I went out
jumped
drinking,
into
the
the
price
crypto
was
currency
hand there.
for
All right.
$100.
Telegram group, guys. When it came
And I was
back,
like, yo, guys, what
who's
the
been paying
fuck?
attention?
It was
to
over
what's going on?
9,000.
And
That was
full
guys like
transparency.
Luca,
I was
Aaron,
kind of
Cody,
hungover in the morning.
All right,
gentlemen, we are live. How is it going, everybody? Welcome
I had
to
no idea.
the
Send some hyperlink with
Tokyo
Facebook.
Crypto
You know, what
Show
also goes on
featuring
on
myself.
Facebook.
I went out drinking. Right, went out drinking this
To be
weekend.
honest, still drunk. I was like,
Halloween
what the hell is
weekend in
going on?
Tokyo.
And then
I immediately, when I went out
jumped
drinking,
into
the
the
price
crypto
was
currency
hand there.
for
All right.
$100.
Telegram
And
group, guys. When it came back,
yo, guys, what
who's
the
been paying
fuck?
attention?
It was
to
over
what's going on?
9,000.
And
Considering
full sell.
Yeah, 7,400, right?
Oh, we got the echo. My bad, boys. Yeah, we just handled that there. Should be okay. We should be good to go now. Okay. Yeah, we got it going now. Apologize there, boys. Yeah, I should have kept the headphones on there. We should be good now. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, welcome to Tokyo Crypto Show, the most technologically advanced production available on the market. We're still getting this thing going, but you know, is this still? Let me see. Is that going?
Should be okay now.
Yeah, we got it going now. Apologize there, boys. Yeah, I should have kept the headphones on.
Yeah,
there.
okay, we're good to go. Anyways,
So, but yeah, so I went out drinking. What the fuck did I go out drinking? It was Saturday night in Tokyo, which is like Sunday morning Eastern Standard Time. And I went out drinking. The price was $7,400. Woke up, drunk, hungover, cracked iPhone screen, and I was like, shit. We're at 95, fucking 95, 94, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So I jumped into Charlie's group. I was like, Charlie, what the hell's going on? What's funny is, like, I thought it was going down, and I was going to sell it to short it and accumulate more Bitcoin, but actually, Charlie wisely advised me not to do so. He gave me a huge wall of text that I just did. I skimmed through, and I was like, all right, this is too much work. I'm just going to hold on to it.
Yeah, that was at 7,400, right?
Yep.
Before you went out.
Yep. And here we are.
Yeah, and you're glad you held.
I'm fucking rich again.
Here's the thing. In a bull market, even if we're in a downtrend, right, you don't want to bet against the market for too long of a period of time. You know, it's okay to bet against the market for a short period of time. In this case,
Right.
from the end of June to the end of October, not even to the full end of October, basically, what is that, 3 full months?
Right.
Bitcoin's price was down. So you can make money to the downside for that short period of time, but that's compared to a 4-year Bitcoin bull cycle.
Right.
So 3 months out of 4 years is a very short period of time.
Extremely short.
And that's for a major pullback. And so the story of most of the bull market is buy, hold. If you want to trade for some alts once the Bitcoin bull market really starts getting going in the early part of 2020, mid part of 2020. But yeah, you don't want to lose your position. You got a good position. You bought in the last buy point. You bought in at a lot of different buy points.
Right.
The last buy point in was
About 6,700.
exactly. So, in my opinion, we're not going to hit 6,700 or even 7,300 again, at least within this bull market. So, I think we got Spence in the chat saying the Fibonacci 0.618 golden ratio for a pullback is around $8,500 at the moment. So yeah, I think a pullback back to there would be kind of our extreme situation for within the end of October, early November. So you bought in at 6,700.
Right.
Set it, forget it. If you want to buy some altcoins with that stuff later, you know, feel free. But at the moment, I would say keep your position as much as possible. And so also Jack Napier,
Yes.
also mentioned to us he had a really good buy order, right?
Yes.
What
He
do
got
you
in at 74.
Yeah.
Which is solid.
It was great.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. And also Cody in our Telegram group bought in the mid 7,000s, around 7,400, 7,500. Of course, I'm not going to say how much. But yeah, these guys who've been paying attention, doing their homework, getting into Bitcoin, but also, you know, cost averaging in, putting in a good strategy, and having goals for what they want to see in the bull market in terms of profit, basically within 24 hours, have been in, 40% plus gains,
Right.
which does not happen in any other financial asset within 24 hours. I mean,
Yep.
come on.
Yeah, no, it's like it's like entrepreneurship. You got to ride those super critical highs and you got to ride those lows, but if you play the game right, you know, success is not linear. Like in anything, let alone Bitcoin. Like it's not just like you start here and you're like, "Oh, straight line." No, you're going to go like this and then eventually, you know, go up to the top. And like we say, you know, like we've been saying, you know, for a while, that this is the time to make it happen. This is the big opportunity. We've been telling you that 2019 is the year. We're now in October.
Yeah, we started this when Bitcoin was $3,500.
Yep.
Per Bitcoin.
Yep.
Back in February, and back then what I was saying was anything under $5,000 was a really good purchase.
Yes.
Right. Since our first show, I told everybody under 4,000 is great. Under 5,000 is still pretty good.
Yep.
Then at the beginning of September, we blew up to a little bit above 5,000, like 5,500, stabilized at 5,000. Then I said basically anything under 6,000 is really good. And then Bitcoin blew up to 8,000. And then I said, okay, anything under 7,000, putting it a little bit under where the price was at that time, would be a great buy. Of course, it didn't hit that. It went straight back up eventually up to 14,000 per Bitcoin. And then I said, okay, anything under $10,000 for the rest of this year is going to be great, right? And so during this 3 months of down period, I think we've had about a month and a half of that, about half the time period we had in Bitcoin under 10K. So you had a month and a half basically to get under 10K Bitcoin, and now we're at 9.1K. Still, it's a great buy. So, so please keep buying Bitcoin under $10,000. You'll be very happy come 3 to 6 months, 9 months for sure from now.
Yeah, I've been I don't know if I want to say how much what I've been strategically doing to accumulate, but I have been accumulating, and I went through the trenches and I had to do all the hard work. But as far as my Bitcoin portfolio this year,
we're all in profit.
it's looking great.
It's great to be in. It's like one of those things, right? It's like all you have to do is press a few buttons. The hardest thing to figure out is how to buy it in your particular area, your jurisdiction, or whatever. If you're in New York, it's going to be harder.
Yep.
But once you got that all planned out, set it, forget it, and then once the bull market really gets going, get this. I threw an article in our Telegram group today. The last 2 bull markets had at least a 12,000% increase in price.
Yeah, it's I would just say that I feel like almost we gotten to the point that we're we kind of sound like a broken record to an extent. However, I think it does bear repeating that I personally, my philosophy is this. I think that every man will benefit from owning at least one full Bitcoin. This is a speculative investment. If I were to go on on the books saying this, on the record saying this is speculative.
Anything that is a young asset, which people don't know where the ceiling is going to be a speculative asset.
So that is that's what we're thinking right there. But I just think given the circumstance, every man should at least own one Bitcoin.
For sure.
Based upon, if you know anything about the internet, you know that the internet's popularity and power is growing every single fucking day, literally.
Yeah.
Well,
and also, so that 12,000 that I mentioned, 12,000%, which Spence mentions, if he gets it, he's going to fly to Japan.
Good.
Right? Guess how much per Bitcoin that would be from the bottom of 3,100?
12,000 from Bitcoin?
12,000% up. It's kind of it's 125 times. 120 times increase. If that happened, that'd be over $350,000 per Bitcoin.
So he's never coming to Japan.
I'm telling you, bro. If you even take those, it happened twice already in the last 2 bull markets, one each.
Mm-hmm.
It went up 12,000%. If it only goes up, let's say a third of that or a quarter of that, right? A third of that would be at least $100,000, $130,000 roughly.
Would you sell at 130?
Well, it depends what the charts are showing me at that time. So if the charts are still looking bullish, then no. But if it looks like it's close to the top, for example, selling at 20,000 exactly would have probably been a stupid move. But selling around 15,000 probably after, it started to retrace after the top hit and it started to come down. Selling at 15,000 when 20,000 was the all-time high would have been a good strategy. So you're probably not going to get the all-time high, but somewhere around there is good. So if you're in now, if you're in under $10,000, the difference between one Bitcoin at 250,000 or 350,000, you're up.
Right.
You're doing pretty damn well.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited overall with what's going on with Bitcoin. It's just like it is, it is the long game, and it is slowly but surely making its incremental gains. That being said,
Incremental at 40%.
well,
I
yeah,
mean, we get
I'm
like,
jaded.
exactly.
I-
We get so
I'm
what do you call
spoiled.
it, pampered.
Yeah, I'm spoiled.
Exactly. We get so pampered being in crypto because, well, we're going to talk about this today with the pump being slightly because of, the news that President Xi is backing blockchain in
Right.
China. You know how much the Chinese stocks rose? Because there's Chinese stocks that are blockchain stocks, right?
Right.
You know how much they rose within one day?
How much?
5%.
Fucking Christ.
That was the most they had pumped in 8 months. So that's just a comparison of, traditional stock market to crypto assets. I mean, we're spoiled for sure.
Jack says, "Would you sell everything or just your investment?" So, Jack, I already have my. This is a big problem.
Good
that I've
work,
noticed
soldier.
In this cryptocurrency investment field, you need to enter with your end goal in mind and
Yes.
stay sober to take it. My goal for all of cryptocurrency is to get one house completely for free based off of my investments, right? If I could score a house, preferably, in where I live in Florida, quarter mil house in Florida, give you
Nice.
just nice little place. You got a yard. I can begin my life as a doomsday prepper, filling it with guns and rations, and listen to Alex Jones all day.
You
just
do whatever you want. It's your house.
yeah, I'm gonna build a studio. I'm gonna build a full green room. My house idea is the end goal for me with Bitcoin. So as soon as I hit the possibility of buying the house that I want in cash, then my journey with cryptocurrency will be, in my opinion, complete. I'm not going to be living like, oh, whatever. I just need to hold and hold and hold and hold and hold, like,
Right. And, you can do it in stages as well, right? You can say, for example, okay, I bought one Bitcoin at $10,000. The
Right.
price is $100,000. You can also set short-term goals and long-term goals. Long-term goal being I want to buy a house with it. Short-term goal meaning I want to get my original investment back. So if you want to get your original investment back, maybe let's say, okay, I think the ultimate target is 100,000. So let's say at 50,000, I'm going to take my initial, fiat money back, my initial USD. So I'm going to take my initial 10,000. That would be, that would leave you with 0.8 Bitcoin.
right.
After that point. And then if Bitcoin gets above 100,000, then you get your 100,000 mark with that basically pure profit.
Right. So that's what I would say to you, Mr. Jack, is, just you have to enter it with a sober mind in regards to what do you want as you enter this world of cryptocurrency. Okay, keep that in mind. Peter Crozen says, what's your take on the cost average method, and what percentage of your total investment you advise to invest in altcoins? I personally stay the fuck away from altcoins.
I would stay away from them for the most part, unless you have a trading account and you actually do trading. If you don't do trading, if you're just a hodler, stay away from altcoins.
The one altcoin that I do believe in, even though it's been a little weak lately, is Binance.
Yeah, Binance is, they're cornering the market. They are the casino, basically, other than Bitcoin.
That's the one. What's your take on cost? I mean, what do you think of the dollar cost average? I think you actually that's what you told me to do. If I'm going to sell out at 7,400, wait for the market to drop. I did not just quite honestly, I just didn't want to do all the work to dollar cost average out, which is or in, right? Which is the strategic move.
Yeah. And I think dollar cost averaging is great, especially if you're if you're on a paycheck, basis in terms of your current finances, or you have a little bit of extra spending money that you want to spend, like instead of buying beer, you spend it on crypto. So if you're dollar cost averaging like a car payment, like $100 to $500 a month, something like that, into crypto every month,
Right.
you'll be 10 years from now, you'll be very happy.
Right.
But only into Bitcoin. Then, if you have enough profit after a while that you can use, that you can afford to lose, then you can start looking at altcoins. But like John said, maybe only 1, 2, 3, or 4 altcoins. You don't want to get, especially my advice is never have more than 5 coins in your crypto
Good work,
portfolio
soldier.
at any one time.
Yeah.
If you go over that, you're going to get, it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
And one kind of thing which is interesting, just as an example of why the altcoins kind of are a hit miss game, especially compared to Bitcoin, is that Bitcoin, right, from its top of 14,000 this year down to 7,300. I forget exactly what percent. I think it was about 43% down, right? Whereas Ethereum had the same exact pattern. But Ethereum on the downside went down 58%, I believe, right? So it went down 15% more. Then on the bounce up, Bitcoin went up 40%. Ethereum only went up 30%.
Right.
So on its way down, it went more down. And then on its way up, it went less up. So what's better to be in? Bitcoin.
And, honestly speaking, like, I think that's really great advice there because when you, like, I had a friend who
Good work,
was
soldier.
investing into, like, New York coin and stuff like this. He put like $1,000 into all these different coins. And I was just like, listen, mate, you've lost your fucking marbles. You lost your fucking minds. Don't do that shit at all. And he lost a lot of the money. He lost
Good work,
a
soldier.
lot of the money. And so, it's better to, it's like real life. If you're better off running 3 to 4 businesses maximum than you are 10 to 15 because you're going to spread your mental resources thin. Only if you're like a super experienced trader, which let's be honest, most of you guys watching are not. That's the only way I would do that. And even if you told me you were going to do 10 to 15 charts,
You thought that crazy.
I wouldn't say you're crazy. I think, to be honest with you, if you really applied yourself, I think you pull it off.
Yeah.
But you're an above average guy who has able to do this correctly. Most people starting off can't do it. I mean, even I was like buying Monocoin and fucking all that shit, and I lost it.
I made mistakes too. Nobody gets out of this game scot-free. You don't have to pay your tuition
Yes.
as a trader. If you're gonna look up like a kind of an old trader back from about 100 years ago, I think you should Google this guy called Jesse Livermore, who has a book talking about how he used to read the actual ticker tape on the stocks.
Jesus.
But what he did was he became a multi-millionaire, right? And this was 100 years ago, so that's when millions was worth something.
Yeah.
And it would have been a billionaire by today's standards. But he went bankrupt multiple times trading until he figured it out.
Right.
So, trading definitely has its losses as well. You're not going to get out of this game scot-free. But, if you buy Bitcoin and you just hold it, after 5 years, over any 5-year period, especially over a 10-year period, you're almost 100% likely to be up. So that's the easiest play. So that's why the alts are a little bit of a crapshoot, because it is some of them are a way to separate you from your Bitcoin as well.
Yeah. King Nick says something pretty interesting. He says, I'd never even go more than 50% in alts. There's so much less liquidity in the alt market. I made that mistake in 2017, holding too many alts. You and like 95% of people involved in cryptocurrency.
And the thing is if you're absolutely brand new to it, I think you need somebody in your life to be able to bounce ideas off of, right?
Yes.
We had each other. We also had a guy in our office who was a traditional, day trader in the stock market.
Yep.
And then I also had some of my family
Yep.
who've been in cryptocurrency, for several years.
We had
before
Eddie, too. He was doing the ICO hustle.
Right.
That was really good.
We surrounded ourselves, with like-minded people, whether they were there directly with us or we could talk to them on the phone or over the internet or whatever. You need to hang around people who understand Bitcoin, which might be hard to find for most people where they are.
Remember we had the Dragon Energy chat?
Oh yeah, that was fun.
That's when Kanye West was talking about Trump had dragon energy, and I was like, fuck it, let's make a dragon energy chat group. And it was me, you, Eddie, Edwin, and Simon. And then
Yeah.
it was us 5. And we were just talking cryptocurrency all day, bouncing things off each other and trading. And, you know, that's how you learn. And that's why we evolved to make Charlie's Telegram group, because at the same time, you know, I was literally last week, I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not as, you know, like I'm a macro guy. I'm not micro like you.
Yeah.
So I was just, you know, thinking like, hey, maybe this trend is going to continue. And, you know I have humility to ask somebody who's better than me. I'm not stupid enough to be continuously driven by my ego, thinking like I'm the fucking alpha male or blah, 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 whatever. Like,
Or-
I know you're better than me in cryptocurrency. So that's why I asked him. I was like, Charlie, I'm thinking about selling. What do you think? And he was just like, listen, calm the fuck down. It's probably not a good idea. Here's why. If you're going to do it, you're going to dollar cost average out and run the calculations based on the profit to loss scenario. And, you know, based off of that data, if you believe that the risk is worth it, do it. And I was like, God damn, that sounds like a lot of work. I'm just going to fucking hold on to this shit and see what happens. And it worked out. I mean, I'm telling you, with Bitcoin, in my opinion, and from what I've learned, it's just better to buy and hold, in my personal opinion. I mean,
Yes.
trading is viable, but I'm too busy with body language mastery webinars and digital marketing, and I got Hot Dude Con coming up
Oh, for
November
sure.
9th, and I'm working out in the gym like literally every day. So I don't have time to like sit around, look at charts and stuff. That's why I outsource this data to you
Yep.
for a quick yes, no, don't fucking do this, definitely do this. You know, that's what that's what he offers in the fucking Telegram chat. So yeah, you saved me a lot of money, and but more importantly, you saved me fucking Bitcoin. That's the
Yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, and I would say, you know, I'm of the same idea, right? Some people, they say, well, you know, I want to get into trading, and they get these ideas of, you know, becoming like a stock market trader, you know, sitting in the pit, you know, by the floor, calling, hey, I want this stock bought, that kind of bullshit, right?
Yep.
It doesn't exist anymore, obviously, like that. To be honest, it's a great drug, you know, trading Bitcoin or being in Bitcoin. It is a pretty good rush. It's,
I'm
it's
sober.
a great game to be playing.
I'm sober. Those days are over, man. 'Cause those highs are high, those lows are fucking low.
But you know, the only thing that trading is really good for is when you get to the peak or the trough of a market, right? When you see a peak coming and you know, okay, we're going to get towards the top of the market, or we're getting towards a trough, we're going towards the bottom of the market. As long as you know where the trend is heading,
Right.
and a rough time period for that, then you can take a small portion, basically whatever you're willing to lose. Maybe it's 1%, maybe it's 20%, maybe it's 30% of your Bitcoin. And then you can use that to try to cultivate crypto and compound your Bitcoin. That way, you know, in a bull market, you want to hold your Bitcoin as much as possible, right?
Right.
But if you want to risk a little bit to compound it, then you'll do well. You can do better. But you may also lose what you risk there as well. So that's why I recommend at least 80% or 70 to 90% of your Bitcoin you put in cold storage where you cannot touch it, or where if you were to try to trade it, it would take you probably several steps to get it to an exchange.
Right.
So
Yeah, we got a couple people are saying that trading's exhausting and trading this.
yeah,
You know,
it
they said,
is. I mean, dude, it's a mental fucking game. It's like a sport.
Yep.
It's not even. It's basically you against your own emotions, right? It's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde thing: fear versus greed.
Yep.
That's why the guys on the stock market, you know, like we were watching a little bit of clips from American Psycho before we were watching this.
Right.
Right. Guys like that who are on Wall Street, you know, they stick to a regimen. They also, I mean, some of them, you know, they, you know, Wolf of Wall Street style. They do a little stuff. You know,
Do a shitload of cocaine.
sometimes. You know, but they have to keep that high energy. And, you know, a lot of the guys on traditional Wall Street, especially the guys who are making money in the late 90s, you know, they only slept like a couple hours a day, right? They were working at the office all the time.
Right.
So if you're like seriously doing it at a professional level for your livelihood, which you probably shouldn't be doing, but if you did it that way, you know, it does take a lot of fucking work.
Yeah, and again, this is not us trying to like, you know, dishearten anybody who actually wants to go out and do this, but we're just giving you the realities of the situation. For me personally, I just find a low ROI in doing it, but at the same time, Charlie does it every day, and he's fucking really good at it. He's only getting better. Let's take, speaking of getting better, I mean, let's take a look at some of these charts that Charlie's been doing here. We're gonna take a look at the Bitcoin chart. I'm gonna show you something that new that Charlie's actually working on right now. Kudos to you guys that tuned in, because we got a good treat for you today. So Charlie's gonna do his chart breakdown. So pay attention.
All right, so I'm going to zoom out here, and I'm just going to look at from the top here. Are you all right?
No.
Okay, just
Speak into the microphone. I was trying to tell you that
I see what you're
incognito.
well, I mean, if you just pull it over here a little bit, it's easier.
Okay.
But yeah, instead of doing baseball science. But anyways, here we have the top, right? And you can ignore all these numbers and letters and gibberish or whatever you want to call it. And we had this top here, which was around $13,800, almost $14,000 per Bitcoin on June 26 of 2019. So that was just over 3 months ago.
Mhm.
And for a lot of people, a day in crypto is like 10 days in the real world, right? So when they see this price volatility, it feels like a lot longer than that time they've been waiting for the price to get to, sub 10K, right?
Right.
And so what we have here is we have a major wave 1 and then a major wave 2. Within that, all of this breakdown is the price in between there. You don't really need to worry about that. But basically, if we zoom out, wave 1 is the start of the bull market at $3,100. We go to a peak, and then we have what they call a requisite correction, a correction in price or a downwards action in price. Because this price went up over 300%, that's a little nuts. So it has to kind of cool off, for a little bit before making enough time to build back up again. And so what we were looking at with that price increase was, and I've been talking about this on the show for several months, is this Fibonacci retracement sequence, which is you take the Fibonacci retracement, you started at that low. I accidentally pressed it twice. You put it at this low here of 3,100, roughly. Bring it up to that 14,000 or 13,800. Drag it across. And then you get this 0.618. 618 is the Fibonacci golden ratio. So just above there or just below there is our golden pocket, which is a good area on the retracement from a high to a low that the price would go to. That was at 7,200 or 72 and some change. The price went almost exactly there to 7,300, so $100 shy. Now, the people who are whales in this market also are doing this technical analysis. So when the price gets even remotely close to that, they know we're in a bull market. So when they call President Xi of China and say, pump it,
Yeah.
or however they do it, they're not gonna want to have the whole market here, right? You had people calling for $6,000, $5,000, $1,000, $1. Last week on our show, you almost apologized to people for telling them about Bitcoin, right? Because the price was close to that point,
Right.
and but this is why technical analysis is important, is because we can see that area has some strength, and once the news hit, people were ready to buy. At least people who were paying attention and who had money. So that's why the price on a technical level went up. Now, the speed with which it went up was pretty insane. And we have not seen this in Bitcoin for a really, really long time.
Right.
I mean, early Bitcoin in terms of on exchanges for trading back in 2011, 2012, went up crazy percentages as well. But we haven't seen this quick of an increase in 24 hours. Or 48 hours, however much you want to call it, from a 40% increase. We haven't seen that in quite a while, so it was pretty amazing. But if we zoom down here and we just see what's happening now, we have these moving averages, which are averages of price over time. This moving average is the 200-day moving average, so the average price over the course of 200 days. And then this one is the 100, this is the 50. And right now, we're getting exactly supported at this average price over the last 200 days, which is right here at 89.95. So we're getting supported just above that level right now. And so, these simple tools can really kind of give you a little bit more confidence in feeling like, okay, price isn't going to break down too much further, right?
Right.
And stuff like that. Like Spence said earlier, if you do a Fibonacci retracement from the $7,300 range here up to that $10,300, $500 top, we get a Fibonacci retracement here to about 8,400. Now, do we have to go down all that way? No, not necessarily. We've already broken down below the 0.382. So all of these Fibonacci levels, 382, 55, 618, are levels which it could bounce from. But in an extreme scenario, that's the area that we'll kind of look at as key. So somewhere between 8,500 and 9,000 is another good buy area, in my opinion. Now we're pretty close to 9,000, so now is also not a bad buy area. Once we hit that, then we do a minor wave 1, 2, and 3. I have an alternate count, an alternate scenario that I do give my Telegram group, because it is important to look at what if I am wrong.
Yep.
What could an alternate scenario be if we were to go higher here, for example. But I keep that to my Telegram group because that's, another thing which helps people to kind of look at both ends of the spectrum here. So this is what we're looking at, though, as a main scenario over the next few months. In addition to this, this is just, Elliott waves is just with the trend up or down,
Right.
right? So this axis here, price. But a lot of technical analysis people forget the side to side, the time, right? So what I do for that, and what I've been mentioning to the people in here, is that Bitcoin roughly trades at 60-day cycles. So 60 days from October 24th at a low here to the next low, which would be around Christmas Eve, is roughly when we would get the next low in, and it will likely be higher than where we are now. So not saying that it's exactly going to be another low at 9,800, but it could be.
Right.
So we're looking within this time period, and usually the first 10 to 20 days at least are bullish, meaning the price goes up generally within the first 10 to 20 days from this low. So the first 10 to 20 days from here is around mid-November, right? The 11th to the 18th. Somewhere in here, we're likely to get continuous upward, not continuous, right? We could fall down like down here, but we won't go below this low basically. So we could fall down to, like I said, 8,500, but generally over the next 20 days, the price will go up. And then we have, what's a cycle top, and then we'll work towards this next low, and then it keeps building and building from there. That's a little bit of a lot of information, but basically that's how this thing grows in waves.
Good stuff. I like it a lot. Let's go back to the chat real quick. See what we got going on here. See if we got any questions or whatnot. Mo C, what's going on? He says, what up, Charlie? Konnichiwa, Jonathan Sensei. What's up? Charlie dropped $9, just right over 9,000. Yes, it needs to hit that 5 digits again. It did a couple days ago, and I think it's gonna happen again. Charlie's actually working on something that is, quite honestly, this is for more high-level advanced traders, but I think it's good to bring this information to you guys at this marketplace so you can get an idea and kind of open your mind as to understanding that there are multiple avenues to be successful with the cryptocurrency world for you guys that really want to dedicate yourself towards making the jump into cryptocurrency trading and Bitcoin trading and accumulation. We're going to take a look here at what Charlie has got going on. Yep. Hey, Charlie, why don't you explain what you got going on here?
Sure. So
this is what, Bybit.com.
Yep, Bybit.com, which is a leverage trading platform, and we have talked shit about leverage and margin trading in this show before.
Right.
And leverage trading does take a lot. You have to do a lot of what we call risk management in order to make sure that you don't lose that much money.
So give me a Reader's Digest version.
Okay.
30 seconds. What is leverage trading?
So let's say you have $1.
Okay.
Right? But you think the price will go up.
Okay.
So you want to borrow $1 more or $2 more, and bet that the price will go up. If the price does go up, every percentage it goes up, you get an extra percentage. Depending on how many dollars you borrowed, you get a percentage of that increase. So basically, if you were to hold that $1 and the price increased for that $1, you would get a normal increase. But
So let's just do a $1 to $1 ratio. I have $1, but I borrow $1.
right. So that's 2 times leverage.
Okay.
So you're borrowing twice as much as you have.
Okay.
And then let's say the price goes up 100%, which is double.
So now that $1 is worth $2.
Right. But you borrowed an extra $1, which is also worth $2. So now you have $4
Right.
instead of 2,
Right.
which you would have only had with that original $1.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So how do I get to?
So you quadrupled your money. Well, you basically quadrupled your money instead of doubling it.
But I just get to keep this money for free. There's no.
Yes. So it's a contract that you put into play. Now, if the price goes below what you said, what you bet, so you bet $1 would stay $1 or more, but actually it went below $1. Whatever price you put that at, it will take you out. And when it takes you out of that, you owe however much you bet, to that company. So if you did something crazy, like here on the right, 100 times leverage.
Is 25 times leverage crazy?
Yes. Anything above 10 is kind of nuts.
Okay.
Because it takes a smaller percent of the price to move for your account basically to lose all of its money.
I just know I know of a course out there that's advising 25x leverage
gotcha.
as a sober investment, and I just thought
I didn't know that was a percentage.
Yeah.
Yeah. That will make you lose pretty quickly. But here, what I'm doing is a simple 2 times leverage, right? Just as an example.
Yeah. Of course.
And the reason why I'm okay doing this example live is because I haven't shown this chart yet to the Telegram group, and I'm not going to show it in full here. So I zoomed in on the chart just to show a simple line on this chart, and I'll share this with the Telegram group a little bit later. But anyways, this line here, this red line, and I'll take out these. This red line I put here a couple of days ago, and the price actually held at this price point, right? It went down in what we call a wick,
Right.
but the actual closing price stayed above this $9,060, which I'd put in a few days ago, right? The price pumped up after that, and now it's kind of just meandering in this area. Of course, it could break it again for a short period of time and then come back up. If it does fail and it goes extremely down, then I lose my position on this trade. But if this line holds and it comes up here, let's say to the next moving average, then I can take a double profit than I would have just holding the Bitcoin originally. But leverage trading can be bad if, for example, the exchange lets you play with both dollars and Bitcoin. In terms of Bybit, it basically forces you to stay in Bitcoin.
So what if you, let's say I have 1 Bitcoin and it's 2x leverage, and 1 Bitcoin is worth, let's just say 1 Bitcoin's worth $10,000.
Right.
And then it crashes down to $5,000.
You should have put a stop loss in for sure.
Okay, but let's just say I didn't. So
Okay, if you didn't, then if you did 2 times, then you get liquidated. You lost all your money because it went down 50%, and you borrowed twice as much as you had.
so they get to take all my Bitcoin.
Yes, or as much as you had in that account.
Right. Okay.
So whatever you put in is basically what you're willing to lose. And in this case here, you can see at the bottom of the screen, I did a bet of $3,500, which is 0.38 Bitcoin, at $9,114. And I put a stop limit here at $9,065. So if the price goes below this line here at $9,065, which it's only $20 away from right now, if it does make another wick from there, I lose about $20 of my Bitcoin. So it's really, and it just probably hit right there. So like I said, I wanted to do this as an example, and it didn't hit. As soon as this disappears, it hits, and I basically lose $20 if this happens live. But I did this as an example simply because having this stop limit is super important, because this will basically say, okay, I'm willing to lose $20 in order to make $200 or whatever your target is to the upside. And so it makes sure that your bets are small and that you only make a few of these small bets when the market is at an inflection point or when the price is going to move one way or the other, right? And so you can make these small bets to make more profit. But it is, like you said, a more advanced strategy. The only really good thing about this this platform is that it makes you stay in Bitcoin. You can't basically take it out of Bitcoin into dollars. And so that's actually good, because even though you might lose one or two bets, you might win a few more, you're going to keep your Bitcoin overall.
Right.
And, if you do take out into Tether, which is also a strategy, then if Bitcoin makes a big move, you're out of Bitcoin at that moment. So you want to stay in Bitcoin in a bull market as much as possible. So that's the one advantage to this platform, is that it makes you stay in Bitcoin.
Good stuff. I like it a lot. We did a lot of technical analysis and whatnot here, but I think that it is very important to just take a look at this kind of stuff and to be competent, at least, because, if you meet, you never know when you're going to meet a high power, like a highly powerful man in your life who maybe he's like a guy that you want to be a business partner with, or maybe you're trying to pitch him on a deal or close out a deal or get a new contract or whatever, and you're able to be competent in this kind of area and talk about it. Some people, it's so rare to be competent in this. When you find somebody to talk about it, like, oh my God, you fucking support Bitcoin, you do leverage trading, this can open a lot of doors. And blockchain technology is here to stay. Most people cannot explain blockchain technology, but the reality is the usefulness of it. I mean, even in areas like, in the medical world, I mean,
and shipping,
logistics, the whole 9 yards. I mean, blockchain is here to stay.
And the thing that people have to remember is that blockchain would not exist if Bitcoin was never invented.
Yes.
So a lot of people like to separate blockchain and cryptocurrency. But blockchain was born of cryptocurrency, born of Bitcoin. So if you want to truly understand blockchain, you also should truly understand at least Bitcoin. You don't have to understand all of crypto, but at least understand Bitcoin.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Let's jump into today's show topic. We got about 10 minutes left on our...
That's enough, actually.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this was a jam-packed episode, but we need to just cover the financial titan that is China and their influence. I mean, we talk about what's going on with Blizzard Games and the Hollywood and NBA. There's so much influence. If you see the NBA, they got like their lead puppet LeBron James, trying to like squawk away and say like, oh, well, you got to support China and all this stuff and all their authoritarian regimes and their concentration camp for the Uyghurs and all that stuff. All for $1. Same thing with Hollywood. I don't know if you guys noticed it, but Hollywood is actually making a run at the Chinese market, and they're doing pretty good.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they're making. You notice there's a lot more like Chinese leads in a lot of movies, and so that's a big thing as well. And blockchain. I mean, they even had, like I said, they had that was it elementary school principal that was using the free electricity in Chinese school to mine fucking Bitcoin. So everybody's trying to get a crypto dollar, and President Xi the other day says that China should seize opportunity to adopt blockchain. I was chilling with before I was able to get this clarification from you. I was chilling with the president, Bread Wallet. And I was saying like, hey man, like, this huge spike we had recently, what the hell? And he's like, oh, well, the president of China made an announcement, and he's really in touch with the Chinese community. He speaks Mandarin.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
His first wife was, I feel like she was Taiwanese or Chinese, after one or the other. And he really understands, he thought he needed to do everything, like from WeChat, like he knows China pretty well, does a lot of business in and out of Shanghai. And he told me this, that's why it's good to have your crypto network strong. Like, obviously he's a heavy hitter in my fucking
Yeah, he's a professional.
in my Rolodex of powerful men. But yeah, he talked about this, and why don't you tell us a little bit more about this, Charlie?
Yeah, so the price, like I said, around 7,200, 7,300, 7,400 was basically ready to move back in a bullish or move in an upwards fashion, right?
Right.
Literally, one day after, the price is kind of sitting there at the 7,400, 7,300 area, China comes out and says, "Hey, we should get heavily involved in blockchain." Now, people in China took that as well, and also people around the world took that as well as a sign that they're going to be kind of a little bit more warm towards cryptocurrency as well.
Right.
Because, like I said, blockchain was born of cryptocurrency, so they are not so far apart.
Right.
And so this helped to push up the price as well. Like I said, the price technically was already basically the fire, the gas, the kindling was all there. But it just needed a little bit of an extra flame to push it up as high as it did, right? If this news had not come out, the price probably would have started creeping up ever so slowly, but this helped kind of accelerate it. And so, I mean, that's pretty simple just to talk about the news there. One interesting thing which happened after that was this kind of headline here, which is blockchain frenzy that Xi started gets warning from China media. Basically, everybody says investors, Chinese media actually told people, you guys need to stay rational. Don't go crazy. Don't go buying all these blockchain stocks. Don't go buying a lot of cryptocurrency. But a lot of Chinese tech shares, like I said, were up 5% or so, which is the most in 8 months. And a lot of cryptocurrency was up as well. So the people, didn't listen to the media. They just said, he said it, I'm going, right? And they go and buy it. So it's just kind of interesting to see here that, just the effect, right, on the market that this has. And this was surprising news, right? Nobody was expecting this. If he had announced like a month in advance that he was going to say this, it would not have as a strong effect on the price at that particular point in time. But it is quite interesting nonetheless. Yeah.
So
We can do these at the end just for fun.
we'll take a look. We'll take a look at some of our memes for today. This is hilarious. I saw this one. I said, "This is the official R. Kelly cryptocurrency meme." There's centralized banks taking a shower, and boy, oh boy, surprise, surprise, look who is doing the raining.
Yeah. Well, one thing which is interesting about the Fed right now, in terms of centralized banking,
Yeah.
right? They're literally printing billions and billions and billions of dollars per day. That money is some of it's gonna end up in Bitcoin.
It's crazy.
Do you know how much money was added to the market cap of Bitcoin over the last weekend when the price increased?
How much?
About $55 billion.
Oh, really?
Some of that money could have come from, the money they've been printing over the last 1 month in terms of,
Quantitative
quantitative
easing.
easing. Exactly.
Fucking bullshit.
And it's going to continue for the next 6 months at least.
Right.
Billions and billions of dollars a day. So this is what Bitcoin's saying to the central banker, says, you can't stop us, baby. We're going to just enjoy this.
I think the dumbest thing that these fucking economists always say is like, inflation's a good thing, and we need to fucking devalue the currency of the fiat. I'm just like, okay.
That's their scheme to control and manipulate.
It's just a headache. It's a headache. Fucking take a look at Venezuela and let me know how that's going for you.
Yes.
Guys, that's going to do it for us today. We wanted to focus more heavily on the trading aspect and the leverage and kind of just give you a little hands-on demonstration and talking about, why the price of Bitcoin jumped 40%. So keep an eye on the markets. Go to Charlie's website, cultivatecrypto.com, and check out his paid cryptocurrency chat. You can get in there and get you can get face-to-face consultations plus daily access to cryptocurrency experts. You got 3 in there, plus the guys like Cody and stuff who actually made some moves recently and got some solid dollars out of this.
Oh, yeah.
Go check that out, cultivatecrypto.com/shop. And yeah, that's gonna do it. You got anything else you want to say?
my show, I also do on a daily basis. I'm going to do it tomorrow, 8 a.m. Eastern on Cultivate Crypto here on YouTube. So yeah, please come watch that show. I think there's a lot of good questions, that sometimes come up during this chat, which we can't always, discuss, or we can't always, tackle. But I do prefer, people who are able to catch the show live. So if you come on my show, watch it live. I will answer your questions there, or during a consultation as well. Of course, you can ask a lot more in-depth questions through that type of service as well. But yeah, tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern.
Tomorrow night is going to be, tomorrow morning is going to be my tomorrow night, and that is Halloween night in Tokyo. I will be getting out there, drinking my weight in alcohol. Hopefully, the price of Bitcoin will go up again as I drink this time. And
just don't tip over a car like those Japanese guys.
Oh God, I might live stream a little bit. Keep an eye on the thing, but I'll be back for a free consultation Friday, and then I will be back for Dude Party as well. Mo wants to know what's your link, Charlie.
The link is in the description of this show.
Just check out Cultivate Crypto on YouTube, like that. Cultivate Crypto on YouTube, and you will be able to find him. Mo,
Yep.
You're a smart guy. You can figure it out. Dude Party will be returning hopefully this weekend. I'm not entirely 100% sure, but we'll see. And then, it's going to be a great free consultation Friday. So that is when I'll be back. So thank you guys all for tuning in. Body Language Mastery, guys. Donovan Sharp is coming in for the morning session today. So you're not going to want to miss that, as he is one of the most heaviest hitters in the Red Pill world with the leading Red Pill live stream show. So you're not going to want to miss that. Until then, we will catch you guys on the next episode of the Tokyo Crypto Show. Have a wonderful day. Get out there, make money, make muscles, learn game, buy Bitcoin, and it's not financial advice. See you later.